The January 18th meeting of the Eden Prairie City Council will now come to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open podium is an opportunity for Eden Prairie City residents to address the council on issues related to Eden Prairie City government before each council meeting, which are generally held the first and third Tuesdays of each month. From 6:30 to 6:55, we have open podium in the council chambers. And we had a couple of speakers today. If you're interested in coming to speak at open podium, please contact the city manager's office at 949-8412 by noon of the meeting date with your name, phone number, and subject matter. And if time permits, after scheduled speakers are finished, we will open the floor to unscheduled speakers. This portion of the meeting is not recorded or televised. If you have any questions about this open podium opportunity, please call the city manager's office. The first thing that we have on the agenda today is a couple of items, a proclamation and a presentation. The first is a proclamation regarding Dr. Martin Luther King. And I would just like to go ahead and read that proclamation, then we're going to hear from the chair of our Human Rights and Diversity Commission. Whereas the City of Eden Prairie's City Council and Human Rights and Diversity Commission sponsors the Human Rights Award program, recognizing those who work to create an inclusive community spirit through their actions, activities, and programs. And whereas the City of Eden Prairie recognizes that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream and dedicated his life to helping freedom exist for all people through his commitment to human rights and his nonviolent philosophy. And whereas the City of Eden Prairie reaffirms its commitment to fostering diversity in our community through the Eden Prairie Manifesto, now therefore be it resolved that the City of Eden Prairie hereby proclaims 2011 as a year to celebrate human rights and diversity, and asks all residents to continue their commitment and concern for equal rights for all persons, to dedicate themselves to helping those who do not yet share in that freedom, and to join the City of Eden Prairie in recognizing and celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. So now we're going to hear from the chair of the Human Rights and Diversity Commission, Pam Spira. Pam?
Thank you very much, Mayor Tyra Lukens and council members, for allowing me to make this announcement. We are kicking off as chair of the Human Rights and Diversity Commission, it's my pleasure to announce the start of the Human Rights Awards process. The goal of the Human Rights Award is to recognize an Eden Prairie individual, nonprofit organization, business, or youth who has helped to work to create an inclusive community spirit through actions, activities, or programs. The timeline for the Human Rights Awards is as follows. The kickoff program will include a media release, mailings to local civic organizations, the Eden Prairie Chamber of Commerce, and the faith community. We will also update the city's website with the program information, and we will have the nomination forms available online. The nominations will be taken until February 25th, 2011. And on March 10th, 2011, the commissioners will review and we will select the award recipients. And we will choose one or more of the following: an individual, a nonprofit organization, business, and a youth. The awards presentation will be presented at the City Council meeting in April. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pam, how else do you publicize the applications?
I think that, we use the website and just the press release and then sending out the mailings. So maybe we could
to some of the nonprofits and school district and places like that?
And,
do they hear about
the faith community, too.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions for Pam? Thank you for all you do with the Human Rights and Diversity Commission. We appreciate your work. Thank you. The next we have the GFOA's Certificate for Achievement in Excellence in Financial Reporting. And Jay, you and I are going to go down by the podium, and we have Tammy Wilson from Accounting and Suk Cheever, our Director of Finance, that will come up, please.
Your Honor, council members, I'll explain a little bit about this prestigious award that our Finance Division has received. This is a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. It's given to the City of Eden Prairie for its comprehensive annual financial report. You might hear that called the CAFR from time to time, for our year ended December 31st, 2009. It's a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting presented by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada to government units and public employee retirement systems whose comprehensive annual financial plans and reports achieve the highest standards in government accounting and financial reporting. And so this is quite an achievement by our finance staff. We have with us tonight up front Suko Cheever, our finance manager, Tammy Wilson, who is our finance supervisor, and other members of the department who are not here tonight that I'd like to recognize for their hard work in this achievement is Catherine Kalari, an accountant, Carol Gregoire, accounts receivable, Vicki Rudolph, accounts payable, Barbara Bear, utility billing, and Jenny Schoen, utility billing as well. So we'd like to have Mayor Terralukens present the award.
Thank you. Congratulations. And I want to have your wall. Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there a motion for approval of the agenda?
Move approval.
Second.
Any items to add or pull out? Mr. Aho?
I would like to add one short segment under council member reports.
Okay, and I also would like to add something to council member reports.
I would like to add a short thing just on the commission applications.
Under council member reports? Okay.
Unless one of you are doing it already.
Okay, no, I'm not. All right, Mr. Lotthammer.
Yes, Your Honor. Letter H under the consent calendar, approve amendment to Fire Relief Association bylaws. If we could pull that separately, we have a brief comment about that.
Do you want to just pull it for discussion, or you want us to vote on A through I without H and then do H separately?
If you want to take a moment now, I can give you the additional information that we'd provide, and you can vote on it as a group with the rest of the items.
Okay, that's fine.
We haven't approved the
Yeah, we haven't.
agenda yet.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second, and we have some amendments or changes. All in favor of the agenda as amended?
Aye.
The motion passes. Is there a motion for approval of the workshop minutes from Tuesday, January 4th?
Move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any items to correct there? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Motion for approval of the minutes from the City Council meeting of the same date, January 4th.
Move approval.
Second.
Any items to correct there? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, consent calendar. Mr. Rosso, if you want to.
The bylaws of the Fire Relief Association are before you tonight for approval. The statute requires that there be city council approval whenever there's a change that affects benefits. And the summary that was actually the last page in the agenda item for this itemizes the proposed changes. The first four of them were non-substantive changes, wording changes, some changes driven by statute. Changes 5 through 8 were some more substantive changes, the major ones being required by statute. The reason for discussing it separately is that the memo didn't itemize any costs involved here for the city, and I wanted to be sure that that was clearly stated. Even though the changes that would drive costs are required by the statute, the total cost has the potential to be $7,000 over the course of the year, or $564 a month on an $18 million total liability. So it's not a large amount, but we wanted to make sure you had that in front of you. In fact, it will probably be tens of thousands less than that. because the investments of the Fire Relief Association have done so well in the last year that they're doing a revaluation, which will likely decrease, I am told, that number. So even though based upon the current valuation there'd be a $564 a month liability in 2012, that will be tens of thousands less after the valuation is done, and that should be done by the end of the month.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Rosso on that? Okay, thank you. Is there a motion for approval of the consent calendar?
Move approval of items A through I on the consent calendar.
Second.
Any items to question on the rest of it? Anything for discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. That brings us to our public hearing on Eden Point parking lot expansion. Mr. Rosso. Pardon me, Mr. Lothammer.
If you'd like to.
No.
Your Honor, council members, this is the Eden Point parking lot expansion. This was published officially in the, it was the January 6, 2011 Eden Prairie News, and sent to 7 property owners. If you'd like a little more detail, there is quite the synopsis and written background for you, but if you would like staff to give a brief overview, we do have staff on hand, or we can just stand for any of your questions as well.
Counselor, preference? Sure what?
Short.
Short. Yeah, I don't know that anybody needs a presentation. It was pretty straightforward, the explanation and the issue that we're dealing with. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone from the audience that wants to address the council on this issue? Eden Point parking lot expansion. Okay.
Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing and adopt the resolution for planned unit development concept amendment on 5.82 acres and approve first reading of the ordinance for zoning district change from regional commercial to I-2 on 2.98 acres and adopt the resolution for preliminary plat of 5.82 acres into one lot and one outlot, and direct staff to prepare a development agreement incorporating staff and commission recommendations and council conditions.
Second.
Oh, you can have it.
Anything to discuss? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any? Okay. Motion passes. That brings us to our second public hearing, which is a resolution relating to multifamily housing revenue bonds for the Rolling Hills project. Mr. Lothammer.
Yes, Your Honor. This official notice of the public hearing was published in the December 30th, 2010 Eden Prairie News. I will give you a brief synopsis on this item. The borrower has indicated a desire to amend the subordinate indenture of trust, therefore the indenture dated as of August 1st, 2001, between the City of Eden Prairie and U.S. Bank National Association as trustee. The changes have no financial impact to the city, and the bondholders have consented to the change. The changes no longer provide for early payments on principal, but rather defer payments to the due date on the bond payment schedule. If you have any questions or additions, we'll certainly entertain those.
Council, any questions of Mr. Lothammer? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone from the audience that wants to address the council on these multifamily housing revenue bonds? Okay.
Seeing none, I would move to close the public hearing and adopt a resolution relating to multifamily housing revenue bonds, Rolling Hills Project, Subordinate Series 2001C and 2001E, authorizing the reissuance thereof and execution and delivery of a first supplemental subordinate indenture of trust.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Payment of claims. Is there a motion to approve the payment of claims?
Move approval of the payment of claims as submitted.
Second.
Are there any questions on any of the items? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Aho,
Aye.
Councilmember Butcher,
Aye.
Councilmember Case,
Aye.
Councilmember Nelson,
Aye.
Mayor Terralukens.
Aye. Reports of council members. Mr. Aho, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. I just wanted to make some comments about the school situation. Normally, I don't like to comment on these things, but I know we've been getting, as a council, we've been receiving a lot of public questions, a lot of public comments on this, and so I thought at this time it would be appropriate to make a few brief comments on that. First of all, I want to say that if anyone doesn't know, the City Council does not have any purview over what happens on the school board, and that the school board is an elected body, and that elected body has been chosen to represent you, the residents, on issues relating to school issues, and the City Council does not get involved in that. My comments tonight are really not meant to be for or against the recent changes in our schools, but really a call for our community to come together and make the changes work in a positive way for our students. I was very disappointed to hear people from outside of our community calling our committed, involved parents and residents white racists because they voiced opposition to the reorganization. This is absolutely not true and uncalled for. This kind of rhetoric doesn't bring anything to the situation except cause hurt feelings and anger. I have always found the people of Eden Prairie to be very open, supportive of all people and all races, and really working together. I do understand the passion that changes to the education system bring out due to the nature of this issue, but it is important that we work together to do the best for our children. And I know everyone has the best intentions for our children, and that's really what drives all of this passion. And I know that the residents of Eden Prairie are committed to doing this, and I just look forward to moving forward with that and being positive.
Thank you. That was extremely well said. Great comments.
Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Nelson.
I'd just like to make sure that people who are interested in being on our commissions understand that right now is when you need to apply. Applications are available online as our discussions about what the commissions do. They're due Friday, February 11th, and we would like to encourage everybody out there who thinks that they might like to have something to do with city government. This is a great place to start. And hopefully it's www.edenprairie.org. It's right on the front page. It'll take you to where you need to go.
Thank you. Thank you. I also had a couple of things that I wanted to announce. Eden Prairie is an extremely collaborative community, and we as city council members, city staff, we work with various volunteer organizations within the community as members or as volunteers of those organizations. We support each other. They support us in what we do. We're a very collaborative, very tightly knit community, I think. And so I just wanted to take an opportunity to give a little bit of publicity for two events that are coming up that I hope those of us that are up here and those of you who are listening will participate in. And the first thing is on January 29th from 11 to 4 at Central Middle School, there is a fundraiser called Super Bowl Saturday, and that's Super, S-O-U-P-E-R, Super Bowl Saturday. And this is a program that is going to benefit PROP, our emergency food shelter and emergency service organization, which serves Eden Prairie and Chanhassen. More than 1,000 families needed PROP services last year, and nearly half of those were children. PROP is empowered by volunteers and donations from individuals and organizations. This event, it looks fun. There have been about 700 handcrafted ceramic bowls made for those who are in attendance, and this is what you'll get your soup in. There are local choirs and bands providing entertainment, silent auction, which showcases handmade items for sale. My understanding is that there's no fee to attend. You just make a donation of what you feel appropriate when you enter, and hopefully you'll buy some things in the silent auction that will also help benefit PROP. So that's a wonderful, fun fundraiser and something to do on a cold Saturday afternoon. And then the second thing I want to talk about, even though it's about 2 months out, is the Eden Prairie Foundation Ball is coming up. This is a really special year for the Eden Prairie Foundation. It's been around for 30 years now. So we're going to try to get a lot of the past board members and past attendees to come to this particular ball that we're really trying to put the focus on community with this 30th anniversary foundation ball. And to that effect, We're not hiring a band from Minneapolis or the greater Twin Cities region to provide our entertainment. We're having 2 local bands, one of which features our very own Dave Lindahl, our Economic Development Director. His band will be playing at the event. There will be also another band, Steve Stromberg. I don't know if some of you know him. He writes occasionally in the Eden Prairie News. He has a band, and his band will also be playing, and it will be kind of a dueling band format. There will never be time to rest from dancing. One band will go right after each other, back and forth. And it's not going to be a particularly formal event. It's kind of a little bit more relaxed and a little more casual than past balls. And the theme of it is Rockin' Eden, right? March 26th, I believe is the date?
Yes.
At the Marriott Southwest. So watch the newspaper for that. The foundation is trying to get a little bit more up to date, and so there are not going to be as many published printed invitations going out. A lot of it will be email, so you might just get an email invitation. Don't wait around for your paper one to respond. If you get that email invitation, please register, and you can register online now. You won't even have a printed ticket. So hopefully everybody can attend. So anything else prior to conclusion of our meeting? Mr. Russell.
I need to. I need to correct a statement I made. It's not $564 a month. I've been informed through the ether that it's $564 a year.
Oh, even
and
less.
And I realize that I probably would not have even bothered you with it, but I wanted you to have the information just so that you were fully informed.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate being advised of such. Now they're going.
Okay. Our city manager, Mr. Lotthammer, you have an item.
Yes, I do, Your Honor. The City Council's next step in the interview process for selecting a city manager, at least the City Council's actions, will occur planned for February 3rd, and we are suggesting a start time at 6 p.m., but we would need council motion and authorization for that to occur so that it becomes an official meeting, and we would properly notice that if council agrees.
Okay. Any questions? Does that present any difficulties for anybody? Okay. Is there a motion?
Move to set 6 p.m. on February 3rd, 2011 is the date for the City Council to conduct final interviews of the city manager candidates.
Second.
All in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Anything else?
Could we announce the public meeting for the 3 candidates on this Thursday afternoon, is it?
Go ahead.
Maybe somebody could give us the exact time and location, but we would like to have anybody, citizen who's interested, to come and stop by briefly. And also, I believe there'll be a way to record your impressions, or if you want to.
Yes, Your Honor, Councilmember Nelson, that occurs this coming Thursday, as you mentioned, beginning at 3:30, and I'm going to look to Lorraine. 6:30 is the ending time? Pardon? 3:30 to 6 o'clock. It's in the Cambria Room at the Community Center. So that's the spot where you can stop by at any point during that time.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.